And so without further ado, let's go to the Zoom machine and say hello to the reigning defending UFC featherweight champion, Alex the Great Volkanovski, who's in his car. I believe he just dropped his kids off at school, right, Alex?
I had daddy duties. Yeah, busy morning. Busy morning.
Okay, well,
I've parked up and found a spot to chat to you.
Okay, well, I appreciate this. No, it's great. It's great. Thank you so much, as always, for carving some time, especially early in the morning over there in Australia. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's get right into it. What do you think of the main event?
Yeah, man, great fight. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I can, push some narratives and say some things, but mate, it was a fun fight, very competitive. But yeah, man, it was good. Obviously, the Max had to go in there and use all his tools. Watch, it's MMA, you know what I mean? I know he likes to say, I'm a boxer, kickboxer, blah, 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 do all that type of stuff. But seeing some different tools like that was cool to see. So, yeah, man, it was a fun fight. I actually enjoyed it. I was actually at the church. I missed like the third and fourth round, but I watched it yesterday because, it was 1 year of my grandmother's passing. So I was like trying to watch it. I was trying to watch the fights. I'm like, man, I'm going to miss it. So I went there. I tried to do a quick toilet break in there, but yeah, I missed a bit of it. But I watched it all yesterday. But yeah, fun fight.
You could have just like recorded it and watched it after in its entirety, right?
Yeah, I could have, but then I'm sure a lot of people would have ruined it for me. So
sure.
I try to watch as much. I end up catching the first, second, and the fifth round. Most of that while I was live. Which was obviously the close rounds, but I end up seeing the third and fourth, the rounds that Max end up dominating. Or I watched that yesterday.
So what'd you think? I thought
I'm going to do a breakdown of it as well. So I'll do a little breakdown of
okay.
On the YouTube channel. So
what's the channel? Channel?
I won't give too much away now.
What's the channel name?
Alex Volkanovski, easy to find. Alexander the Great Volkanovski. You can just find that YouTube channel. I'm just getting that going now, so I'm trying to get as much content as I can on there.
Yes. The quality's been very good. If I'm being honest, less MMA talk on there, more cooking talk, please.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you want more cooking, yeah?
I love the cooking. The ones on Instagram, I've told you this, the reels are great with your narration. It's highly entertaining. Recently you did one like some chicken wings. It was a little, what'd you put on there? Like some chips or something? It was a little...
Yeah, I usually just get I'll just experiment with some things. I did some yesterday as well, actually. I did mie goreng noodles. I don't know if you know what mie goreng noodles is, but I think it's an Indonesian, it's very big in Australia. We love our mie goreng noodles. So I made chicken wings out of the noodles, and it actually turned out all right.
I was a little thrown off by the milk that you bathed the wings in. I didn't know that milk was involved in chicken wings. Is that common?
Oh, you can do it. Obviously, flour, egg, and then your crumb is usually the best, but sometimes when you're in quarantine, you don't have all the stuff, so milk will still work. So as long as the crumb can grab onto the chicken wings, it's all good, and that's exactly what happened. So it still worked, but ideally, flour, egg, and then whatever crumb, if you want to do the chips. So if you ever want to do some weird flavored chips, do a bit of flour or season it, flour, egg, and then maybe put some of your whatever flavored chips you like on there.
Okay.
They come up good, actually.
Yeah?
They crumb up. They actually come very crunchy and nice.
By the way, so you guys are still in quarantine? Is it still very
No, we are. No. You're just talking, because sometimes, it just depends. Like sometimes I'll use the milk. It just depends where I am. If I don't have, if I'm in quarantine, I don't have everything. And I'm like, no, the milk will do. And that'll do. So for a bit, just quick and easy for everyone.
So going back to the main event, I thought first round Yair. I thought he looked really good in the first round. Then second, third, fourth, fifth maybe, but maybe could go to Yair as well. Is that how you saw it?
The second round was pretty close too, I thought. Okay. But again, like you had the one round, you probably could definitely give to Yair. Then the second and fifth were close, but third and fourth were definitely Max's. But you can see why Max got the decision. Obviously it's not a robbery or anything like that.
Sure.
Like, what I mean? I'm not saying anything, but it was definitely competitive. So that second and fifth round, Max was eating a lot of shots, but obviously his volume struck. He probably landed more. The biggest shots were probably from Yair, but with Max, obviously with that volume striking, probably edged him with the strike count.
Were you surprised?
It was a good fight. Very, very competitive.
Oh,
all the tools, they were using knees, elbows, everything, and then a bit of wrestling, good scrambles and whatnot. So, mate, again, I'm still a fan of the sport. You know what I mean? So I enjoy it. And we've had some great fights in the last couple of months, man. I've been absolutely loving it. UFC's been great. But yeah, that was just another great fight.
Were you surprised in the post-fight interview he didn't mention you, that he didn't call you out, that he didn't defend
I'm
No?
not surprised, man. Like, all week he's been, bigger fights and all that. Again, I'm the champ. You know what I mean? Like, you can say whatever you want, you can push whatever bullshit narratives you want. I hate getting into this, but hey, look, at the end of the day, I'm 0-2. I mean, so you're 0-2, and you know what I mean. You're trying to act like, oh yeah, maybe we'll see this. And mate, you don't want it. Don't worry about it. I'll get the next guy. There's plenty of people waiting. But again, I want the best guys. Max proved he's the next best guy, and you know what I mean. And again, nothing but respect for him as a fighter, but stop playing the games and all the bullshit. You want the fight, let the UFC know. You know the UFC are telling you about it. They're telling us about it. You don't want it, hurry up. We'll see who's next. You know what I mean? Whatever. Again, I want the best guys. I'm getting into this whole legacy thing and all that type of stuff. And Max is proving he's still the next best guy. And obviously that last one was a very close fight. And people are, oh yeah, and saying things. And, maybe there is still something to prove. So it's a big fight as well. I want the big fights. And I still think Max is the biggest name in the featherweight division as well. So again, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't going to push any bullshit. That's a fight that I want. If he wants it, he can have it. If not, there's plenty of guys in line.
What do you make of him, like what he did last week, not mentioning you? Even in the first two fights, I felt like he didn't mention you a lot. Does that get on your nerves?
It doesn't. Look, I'm used to it now. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know what games he's playing. I don't really get where he's going with it. I think he's just trying to make it like, oh yeah, I'm the big dog. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. Maybe that's where he's trying to go with it, as if I'm going to chase the fight. But like the way he's going, I'm about to just go, all right, Henry Cejudo, you want it? I know you calling for it, Henry. Come on, let's do it then. I want the best guys in my division. If they're going to play their bullshit games, I ain't waiting around. Henry, we can do it then. Go, you know what I mean? I don't know if he's in the testing pool or whatever. Obviously, Giga calling me out. He's fighting Cater soon, but whatever. Again, there's options. There's still options, but, I'm a competitor and I want the best guys, you know what I mean? And, you go out there and you prove yourself again to someone like Max, I'm the GOAT. You got to take Max again, you're the GOAT of the featherweight division. I got a lot of respect for Aldo and what he's done, but, you start taking out all these top guys and, repeating that as well with the top guys. I don't think many people can question that. So, again, I respect Max as a fighter. He's a great fighter. Right now, again, he's pushing some narratives. I don't know exactly where he's going with it, but you want it, we can do it. If not, mate, whatever, we can get someone else. I've always liked Max because he was always the type of guy that didn't care. That's what people love about him as well. It was like I was about to swear, but don't give a shit attitude. Like, oh yeah, whatever, whoever's next, and don't play no games and all that type of stuff. But I feel like that's all changing now. It just seems like he's always playing the games, and he's trying to call different fights and money fights and all that type of stuff, which is fine. I get it. That's the way that it's going, but I don't play no games. Maybe I should start playing the games and push my bullshit narratives. I don't know, but I don't know, man. I'm just cooking food, kicking ass, and whatever's next, bring it on.
I love it. You tell it like it is, and I appreciate that. I wonder if there's a part of you as
not many people do it, Ariel. Not many people do. And you know what I mean? And I get it. It is entertainment business. I am coming to that. But at the same time, I don't know. I just don't, fuck the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you want to hype up fights and all that type of stuff. Let's do it. And then, you know what I mean? All right. Like, so if that's a fight's going to, we can hype it up. But then you're like acting like, oh yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
Right.
It's like, I just don't get it. I don't know what games we're playing. But hey, on my end, it's a green light. But if you don't want it, well, good. You want to chase Connor or something like that? All right, no worries. That's all good. I'll defend my belt. I want to stay active. I told you after my last fight, I want to stay active. So that's exactly what I want to do. But again, I know I get this is a whole business, and entertainment business, and there are people are going to play the game and all that, and so you can't hate the man for it. But at the same time, I can't just wait around and just see what he says. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the champ. If you don't want it, again, there's people in line waiting. I'm turning them down because I want the next best guy. Henry Cejudo has been called out. A lot of people, you guys talk to me about it every single time, and I'll just shoo it away. shoo it away because I'm like, hey, no, I want the guys that are number one. Look, the number one guys in my division that deserve that next shot. You know what I mean? No bullshit. But yeah, again, if people are going to play the games and then they miss out, just don't come crying to me if you miss out. That's all.
Okay, so as a competitor, the idea of fighting a guy that you've already fought twice for a combined 50 minutes who you're 2-0 against, second fight was very close, but the record book says 2-0, that motivates you? Like, you could get up for that?
I could definitely get up for that. Again, like obviously the first fight was, it wasn't as close as the second, but I mean that second fight was close, and you're going to have people that are going to say, "Oh yeah, Max won" and all that type of stuff. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's fine. The judges got it right. I think the judges got it right, and a lot of people still think the judges got it right, and there's a lot of people that disagree with it. So, but again, so it still feels like maybe there is some unfinished business. But me as a competitor, and I guess I'm always trying to just prove myself. Maybe that's what gets me, out of bed. You know what I mean? The fact that people are still doubting me, people are still going to say that. Remember, I always talked about I love being the underdog, or people. I love proving people wrong. You know what I mean? You go and fight Max again. He's taken the guys out. He's earned, a shot. A lot of people wouldn't get a third chance. Let's be real. A lot of people won't get a third chance. A lot of champions wouldn't do it. And a lot of people wouldn't get that chance at all. The UFC wouldn't give it to him. He's obviously getting lucky in a sense where, he was pretty much never told he was never going to get that third title shot. He was like, even after his last fight, they'll talking about it. You know what I mean? So, again, he's in a lucky sort of position. Well deserved, yeah, maybe. But I mean, at the same time, don't play the games. You want it, come get it. If not, let me know. If you want to chase, a Conor fight and whatnot, or if you don't think you're ready for that third fight yet, and you want more lambs to chop, whatever it is, with the sayings, however they go do it, whatever. I don't care. But I mean, at the same time, I ain't going to sit around and wait, because me waiting for this fight and then waiting for the winner of that was long enough for me.
Right.
I told you guys I would have loved to sneak in a fight this year, another one, but it's just being the champ. It's not that easy. You can't just fight anybody. And again, I want them guys that are next in line. And that's why I can't just fight anybody. But, at the same time, that's what the champion should be doing, I believe. And we don't see that as much nowadays, but that's just who I am. That's what I've always believed in. And so, yeah, again, whoever's next is next. I think Max, I guess if he wants it, he can have it. The UFC, they're telling me the winner of that fight was the number one contender. So, but again, Max is saying something different. So, whatever. Again, I ain't going to wait around.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
So, historically, the UFC has been interested in fights like you versus Henry Cejudo, those kinds of fights. Are you surprised that they shot it down relatively quickly, that there seems to be no interest in it?
Yeah, well, again, like a lot of, I guess, the media and a lot of people are talking about it. But, I mean, the UFC, Dana White seems to shut that down. So, no one's really taking it too serious. I wasn't taking it too serious either myself, and he's calling everyone out every time they fight. But at the same time, I reckon obviously he would. You know what I mean? You go out there, it's a win-win for him. He goes out and gets it done, mate. Claim of the free title division, whatever. Is it going to happen? No, but I mean, if he loses, that's expected by majority. That's expected. They're expecting me to go out there and dust him up. So, and that's exactly what would happen. So for me, that doesn't help my legacy. At the end of the day, they're going to go, oh, yeah, you beat a flyweight, a bantamweight that's moved up. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really make sense. And I don't want him pushing in front of the line, because, again, I'm a champ that wants these guys, that's next. You know what I mean? Like, whoever deserves a shot should get it. And, but again, if people want to play the games and they miss out, just don't come crying to me. And don't try and say I'm running scared, because I'm telling you right now, you want it, you can have it. If not, next guy.
I know there's talk of...
You get me, Ariel?
I get you.
You know what I'm saying,
I love
right?
how fired up you are, Alex. This is incredible. Catching you fired up in the morning over there in Australia.
I had a rough morning. I had a rough morning with the kids. The kids were rushing me around. I was like, oh, am I going to make this interview? I ended up just literally parking not too far from where I dropped them off. And you're all right, man. No worries. It's all good.
Listen, I know what it's like in the morning getting them out of the house. They don't like to get out of the house, right? You're like, come on, can you get your bag? Can you get your jacket? I know it's nice over there now, but it can be stressful in the morning with the kids. Could I ask you, I know that they're trying to get Izzy to fight in February. Have they talked to you about February as well? Would you both be on the same card, or would you be a little later on? Because you said you want to be active.
Yeah, I want to be active. I don't think that'll be when it is. They haven't talked to me about that date. I think again, you got the Australasia that's covered with them. So the UFC usually, there's no point having two title, two guys. You know what I mean? It's just there's no real point. So I don't think that makes too much sense. Would I like that? That'd be great. But yeah, I'm thinking more March is probably where they've been looking. But again, if people want to play their games, maybe I'll fight even earlier against whoever. You know what I mean? But yeah, again, I'm just a champ, ready to fight the guy that deserves that shot. And I said that fight was number one contender. Whoever won, if Yair goes out there and won, and don't get me wrong, he done a great job. He almost did, but he would have got that title shot 100%. So I'm gonna hold my word and say the winner of that fight can have that shot in March or whatever it is. If they don't want it, again, there's guys that are always tagging me and saying that they're coming for my belt, they're taking my belt. I'll give them a shot at it. But it ain't going nowhere, Ariel. It ain't going anywhere.
Did you learn anything about Max from that fight on Saturday? Did Yair do anything in the fight that you're like, oh, okay?
Yes, surprised me. Look, the thing is, at the end of the day, you have Max. He's a volume striker. You know what I mean? He likes to come forward. So I felt, would try and fight at distance. So see, now you're ruining my video.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, that's okay. I'm joking. But a lot of people kept talking about, he needs to fight at range and kicking range and all that type of stuff. Like if he did that early, Max would have just ended up walking through him. He had to stand his ground. Yeah, had to stand his ground. He had to sit there and cut Max off. He goes, no, I'm not going to let you get going. Then later on, once you start doing that, Max going to, obviously try and pick your shots a little bit more, still be volume striking, but that's when you can start doing your fancy shit. But, I had a few conversations about this. A lot of people thought that, Yair's got good kicking. He's got to, sit at a range and just, kickbox at a range, like, outside, outside a boxing range. But again, he would have been just trying to stay at that range and Max would never let him get comfortable. While you're trying to set yourself at this range you want to be comfortable at, Max wouldn't have gave you that chance. You see it time and time again with pressure fighters against guys that want to fight at range, especially with guys that are good with the pressure. So I knew that's what would have happened if they did that. And I expected to do that. And you even had some of the commentators saying that's what he needed to do. And I'm like, oh, no, there's no way. You need to, if he wants to come in, let him know that you are running into something. Or maybe I'm going to, again, I don't want to give too much away, but, the exits, you got to mix it up a little bit. Stop doing the same thing. And you're seeing with Cater kept doing the same thing. You'd get tagged and try and get out of the way. And he exited the same exact way every time. And Max just teed off on him. Again, I think he did a great job. Like he obviously studied a few fights, mine included maybe. But I mean, and he did some good things in there. He gave Max some big problems. But man, Max eats a lot of shots, man. Like he's a volume striker, but he's happy to eat one to give a couple. You know what I mean? But I mean, how long can that last? You know what I mean? So, man, I feel like I know I say this every time. He's got a great chin. Like you sit there, you're going to get the finish. You're always looking for the finish, and I'm just constantly getting guys that got freaking iron chins that just do not go down. But Max, man, I'm telling you, that chin's going to go soon. It is going to go soon. You cannot cop that much damage. Yeah, they're talking about 3,000 strikes he's through, which is incredible, and clap for that.
Yeah.
But he's probably in the thousands or 2,000s of absorption as well, you know what I mean? Like people are, well, there you go, that's not healthy. Again, that's yeah. And, Connor touched on that, actually. Connor makes a good point. You talk about being boxer, it's hit and not get hit.
Right.
That's what makes the best boxer. So you look at the numbers, he's hitting a lot of numbers, but let's look at other numbers. Let's look at ratios. Let's look at, how many strikes are they landing to not land, like not getting, absorbing and things like that. It doesn't get more impressive than mine, I don't think, I think mine will be right up there. So, but again, you want to talk numbers? Let's talk real numbers. But again, at the end of the day, I'll give Max. He's a gamer. I'm sitting there trying to knock him, but at the same time, you got to give him credit. It's entertaining.
Sure.
It is still while he's fighting and not give a F. And you know what I mean. I was going to swear again. Am I allowed to swear in your show?
You're allowed to swear do whatever you want.
Oh, beautiful, mate. I've been swearing so much lately.
Yeah,
I've been swearing so much lately. I don't know what he's hanging around hanging around the guys too much. I think here in Australia, but yeah, like yeah, man, like don't get me wrong, watching that and it's great to watch, but at the same time, you can't do that forever, and that chin's going to go. And let's see if it goes the next one.
By the
I'm
way,
going to be looking for it.
Are the boys coming to freestyle? Is that the plan? That's what I heard. The CKB guys, they're not coming to the States anymore. I saw that maybe they're going to come to Australia and relocate.
Well, that's looking like it's probably going to happen. It just depends on what happens in New Zealand. You know what I mean? If they're going to still be in lockdown, can't train, they're still got to quarantine and all that type of stuff. Because they can't even get back into their own country. So
it's crazy.
That'll happen. So something needs to change quick smart, which I don't know if it's looking that way. So I think they probably will head here. If it doesn't change, they'll be heading here, which will be good.
And you and your coach Joe Lopez, you guys are working with the NRL team.
Yeah, the Dragons. So they're a local NRL team here in Australia, and we're doing a bit of wrestling with them, which has been good. It's been good fun. We're enjoying it.
You're wrestling with the rugby guys. Why? They feel like this could help them in their training for the matches.
Yeah, most teams have wrestling coaches.
They do rugby. Wow.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So it's it's good. I've been enjoying it. You know what I mean? I'm sure because I'm the type of guy like especially the way we are. We go in deep with this type of stuff. It's all about mechanics and principles and all that type of stuff. So trying to connect the two. I feel like we're doing a good job, and working with them a bit more. I think we're gonna come up with the goods for them, and hopefully we can help them and get a premiership.
I love that. And is that how you
supporting the local? Always supporting the local.
Of course. Is that how you got into it? Because you were on a team and then you learned wrestling or did it not go down like that for you?
Well, I wrestled before I played rugby league.
Okay.
I wrestled like a year or two or something, and then I played rugby league, and then I did MMA.
Okay.
But the wrestling helps 100%. You know what I mean? Like
I can imagine. Yeah.
So much in it. Quick play the balls. It's the game's a bit different. And if I might not talk it, you people, a lot of you might not understand. But for the people in Australia or the people that watch rugby league, you know what I mean? They understand that wrestling and grappling does play a big part.
Also, wanted to ask you before I let you go. We always hear about Izzy attending UFC 193 from the nosebleeds to handing out nosebleeds. The anniversary was yesterday, 6 years ago. Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey, Melbourne, Australia. Were you there, by the way? I don't know if I've ever heard this story. Were you in attendance?
I was there. Yes, I was. It's funny because I just one of my mates tagged me. I remember he for Richard Walsh, he fought. And I ended up getting a ticket from them. They gave me a Richard Walsh shirt. So I wasn't obviously not in the UFC. And I was, chasing the dream still and thought I should have been there, but I wasn't there. But, I ended up getting some tickets and watching and just knowing that I should be there, but it will be there soon. But, it was good. When how long ago was that now?
6 years.
6 years ago. So I think, probably the year after that, I ended up getting in there. But, it was it's incredible watching that, you know what I mean? The atmosphere and, just sort of amping you up, getting you ready for the feels once you get in there. And, mate, it was great. Obviously making that debut in the same arena. So, it was the same arena. And no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Sorry, that was the stadium. That was
Etihad Stadium, yes.
I was in Melbourne, but it was arena, not the stadium.
Yep. That was back in November of so exactly a year later, almost exactly to the day, a year later, November 27th, 2016. Do you feel like you're a lot more popular back home since the Ortega fight? I would imagine your popularity has skyrocketed.
Yeah, man. Like obviously, it's definitely changed. It was a big fight. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's definitely changing. There's a lot more happening. But again, at the end of the day, we want the success and all that. It's great, but I'm not the type to just go, looking for it and really, I need that type of stuff. I don't need it, but I mean, at the same time, it does mean more money, and all that type of stuff. So it is good. It is good for it. I really do appreciate the supporters, and I always have. But I mean, it's definitely changed.
And that's why I feel like another reason to make this fight. Your popularity's never been greater. He's a very popular fighter. The third fight, I think, will be bigger than the first two in terms of attention and buzz surrounding it. I agree. Let's stop kidding around. It's the fight to make. Everyone wants to see it. You need to move on with your life. He needs to move on. Let's figure it out once and for all and see who's the better man.
That's it. I'll prove I'm the better man again, and then we'll move on.
I love it. I love it, Alex. I love it. Thank you so much. And so, okay, this is it. You're going to just sit back, and they're going to call you, and you've made your case. You're ready to go. You're not going to play games. You're ready to go. You'll take the fight. You'll beat him a third time in your mind. Let's move on with it, but let's stop playing games. That's basically your message here, correct?
Let's stop playing games. Put it this way, I'm training right now. I never stop training.
Oh.
So, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I never stop training. So if he wants to play the games, all right, I want to fight quicker then. Go on. Where do we want to do it? January, let's go. Whatever. But I mean, at the same time, you know, I think it's just, you know, I don't know what he's pushing, but I guarantee that's what the UFC going to bring to me. And yeah, and we'll see what happens from there. But let's stop the bullshit. You want it? Come get it. If not, we move on.
Alex, I appreciate you very much. Thank you as always for coming on.
No
Thank you for
worries,
doing
mate.
this early. Good luck to you. Happy holidays to you and your family. And hopefully we get to see this one more time in early 2022, and then we all move on.
That's it. All right. Cheers,
Mate. Thank you so much, Alex. All the best to you.
I'm off to training now.
Okay.
See you later.
God bless. Say hello to Joe for me, all right?
See.
All right, there he is, Alex Volkanovski.